A vast tunnel under an ancient Egyptian temple that may lead to Cleopatra's lost tomb.
For centuries, archaeologists and historians have been captivated by the enigmatic Pyramids of Giza, marveling at their towering heights, intricate designs, and seemingly otherworldly construction. Despite decades of research and countless expeditions, however, many questions about the pyramids have remained unanswered, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. But now a stunning discovery has thrown open the doors to a wealth of untold secrets about the pyramids, and it all centers around the long-lost tomb of the legendary Queen Cleopatra. For years, rumors had swirled about the existence of Cleopatra's final resting place, with many believing it to be hidden somewhere deep within the heart of Egypt's vast deserts. So let's start talking about what has been discovered. People all across the world have been captivated by the story of Cleopatra, the last queen of Egypt for many years. Her stunning disappearance, along with her wit and brilliance, have served as motivation for a great number of artists, writers, and filmmakers. However, despite the enduring legacy she has left behind, the location of her final resting place has remained a mystery, which has fueled speculation and intrigue among archaeologists as well as among the general public. The location of Cleopatra's tomb has been a mystery for over 2,000 years, prompting many people to question whether or not the tomb even exists. Ancient writers asserted that she was laid to rest in a splendid mausoleum with her lover, Mark Antony, but no one has been able to locate the tomb to this day. Some people have even put out a hypothesis that her tomb was purposefully concealed so that it would not be defiled by those who opposed her. However, in recent years, a glimmer of hope has emerged despite the long odds, as a team of archaeologists has been excavating a site known as Taposiris Magna, which is located approximately 50 kilometers west of Alexandria. The group has been conducting excavations at the location for the past 15 years, with Kathleen Martinez serving as the team's leader. During this time, they discovered an abundance of artifacts and skeletal remains that date back to the reign of Cleopatra. The discovery of a hoard of coins that were struck during Cleopatra's reign is one of the most important discoveries, and it suggests that the location may definitely be tied to her. Following this discovery, there has been a resurgence of interest in the prospect of locating her tomb, and recent reports in the media have hinted that the find of a lifetime may be on the horizon. Recent rumors in the media have suggested that archaeologists are on the approach of locating this tomb at a location referred to as Taposiris Magna, which is situated approximately 50 kilometers or 31 miles west of Alexandria. Kathleen Martinez has been leading the team that has been excavating the site for the past 15 years. They have uncovered a treasure of coins that were struck during Cleopatra's reign, as well as other artifacts that date back to the time of Cleopatra. There were additional reports in the media in 2019 that an imminent tomb discovery was about to take place. Archaeologists in search of the newest ancient wonder will find this location to be a veritable paradise. Archaeologists working at a sprawling excavation site located close to the city of Alexandria in northern Egypt have just uncovered such a discovery. Archaeologist Kathleen Martinez from the University of Santo Domingo has spent the better part of her life looking for the long-lost tomb of Queen Cleopatra. Martinez is one of the leading experts in this field. More than 1,000 years ago, the Queen governed Egypt as its ruler. In the early part of this week, Martinez and the members of her team made an incredible discovery. They dug down 13 meters into the ground and found a tunnel that was 1,305 meters long. It has been referred to as an engineering miracle by architectural design specialists. The discovery made Ms. Martinez extremely happy. She reported her findings to the CNN news agency, which included the tunnel itself. She claimed the excavation revealed a huge religious center with 3 sanctuaries, a sacred lake, more than 1,500 objects, statues, golden pieces, and a huge collection of coins portraying Alexander the Great and Queen Cleopatra. In 2005, Martinez embarked on her mission to locate the grave of Queen Cleopatra. She stated that one should not equate her tenacity with that of an obsession. Simply said, she said she had a lot of respect for Cleopatra as a historical figure. Martinez discussed the potential significance of the study that her team is doing. She made the statement that it will be the most important discovery of the century if the tunnel is found to lead to Cleopatra's tomb. My doggedness is not to be equated with obsession in any way. As a historical figure, Cleopatra Cleopatra is someone I look up to. According to Martinez, she was the target of propaganda aimed at distorting her image that was spread by the Romans. She was an educated woman, probably the first one who studied formally at the museum in Alexandria, the center of culture in her time, according to Martinez, who said that she admires Cleopatra as a student, a linguist, a mother, and a philosopher. She was a very educated woman, Martinez said. Cleopatra is said to have committed suicide shortly after the death of her husband, the Roman leader Mark Antony, who passed away in her arms in the year 30 BCE. According to popular belief, she did this by allowing an asp to bite her. Even though the event has been depicted and written about in countless works of art and literature, very little is known about the location of their graves more than 2,000 years later. Martinez came upon a number of hints that led her to assume that Cleopatra's tomb could be found in the Temple of Osiris and the destroyed city of Osiris Magna, which is situated on the northern shore of Egypt, near the point where the Nile River and the Mediterranean Sea meet. The name itself was the most important of these factors. According to Martinez, during Cleopatra's time, she was seen as the human incarnation of the goddess Isis, whereas Antony was regarded as the human incarnation of the god Osiris, who was Isis's spouse. Cleopatra was also regarded by others as the human incarnation of the goddess Horus. Martinez thinks that Cleopatra may have sought to mirror this narrative by burying her husband in the temple where she worshipped. According to Martinez, no other place, structure, or temple combines so many conditions as the temple of Osiris Magna. Martinez has researched a total of 20 temples in and around Alexandria. In the year 2004, Martinez presented her theory to Zahi Hawass, an Egyptian archaeologist who was serving at the time as Egypt's Minister for Antiquities Affairs. Martinez believed that Hawass would be receptive to the idea. A year later, her initiative was given the green light, and after so many years of looking, Martinez finally has the impression that she is getting closer. In the course of the excavations that have taken place so far, it has been discovered that the temple was dedicated to Isis, which, according to Martinez, is yet another indication that the missing tomb is located in the immediate area, as well as the tunnels that run beneath the water. Martinez has stated that she is currently at the beginning of a new journey, which included underwater digs. The Egyptian shoreline has been shaken by earthquakes over the course of the ages, as said in a statement that was made by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities. As a result of this, portions of the Osiris Magna have collapsed and sunk into the sea. This is the next location that Martinez and her team will look into. In spite of the fact that it is too early to know where these tunnels lead, she is optimistic. It will be the most important discovery of the century, she claimed, if the tunnels lead to Cleopatra's tomb. According to Glenn Godenhoe, a senior lecturer in Egyptology at the University of Liverpool, who hosted a recent documentary on Martinez's work, Martinez has a suspicion that Cleopatra may be buried at Osiris Magna. This is because Cleopatra identified with the goddess Isis, who was both sister and wife to the god of the dead, Osiris, Godenhoe said. But according to Zahi Hawass, a former Egyptian minister of state for antiquities, there is absolutely no evidence that Cleopatra's tomb may be at Osiris Magna. According to Hawass, he and Martinez worked at the site for over a decade and looked for evidence that Cleopatra and Antony were buried there. However, they came up empty-handed. According to Hawass, I believe that Cleopatra was buried in her tomb that she built next to her palace, and it is under the water. Certainly her grave will never be discovered. As a result of coastal erosion that has occurred throughout the previous 2 millennia, several sections of Alexandria, including a piece that housed Cleopatra's palace, are now submerged in water. Scholars believe that even if the tomb is not submerged in water, there is a significant possibility that it was demolished at some point during ancient times, or that it was buried beneath a development that has occurred more recently in Alexandria. According to the opinions of a few other academics, there is also a significant possibility that it was stolen in ages past. Although no active projects are looking for Cleopatra's tomb underwater at the moment, there have been projects in the past that have investigated her palace. It would be remarkable if it could have survived the millennia of culture change and natural ruin, said Robert Gerval, an emeritus professor of classics at UCLA, who has conducted significant research on Cleopatra. Even if it had been untouched by human hands, earthquakes and seawater would have buried or submerged it, Gerval added. This is what would have happened. It's safe to say that her palace is submerged in water, perhaps even her mausoleum, he said. Building on the work that was done at the site by a Hungarian mission, Kathleen has confirmed the presence of a Ptolemaic period Isis temple within the larger Osiris temple that dominates the site. And to this, a hoard of coins with Cleopatra's portrait on them, and other Greco-Roman period finds, not the least fragments of statuary and mummies, and we can certainly say that Osiris Magna was active during Cleopatra's reign, said Godinho. However, despite working at Osiris Magna for more than 10 years, archaeologists have not been successful in locating Cleopatra's tomb, and the majority of the academics that Live Science consulted are skeptical that it is located at the site. Kathleen's missions over the years have been focusing on the Osiris Temple in and of itself, as well as the hope that Cleopatra's tomb will be found within the walls of the temple near her goddess. Regarding the search for Cleopatra's tomb, Godinho stated that they have been unsuccessful up until that point. It's important to point out that there is much more to this area other than Cleopatra, though. Archaeological study here is set to help us learn more about its role in trade between the Mediterranean and African cultures, religious activity and afterlife beliefs, social structures and population, and so on. In addition to that, there is the issue of how far back in time people have been using this location. Godinho said that we shouldn't take our eye off the bigger picture while discussing how Cleo's just one thread of business. That's all for today's video. We'll be right back with more videos soon, so please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.